Hello everyone, so welcome to my channel. So myself Raza, and in this video I am going to discuss the chapter real numbers of class 10. So in this video I am going to discuss the third exercise of real numbers in AP State Board, Telangana State Board, and exercise 4 of CBSE NCERT Board. Right. So this particular exercise number 3 is completely based on rational numbers, and the title of this particular exercise 3 is nothing but revisiting rational numbers. So revisiting rational numbers means recalling the rational numbers. So why recalling? So already about rational numbers you have learned in your 8th and 9th classes, right? So in 8th class you are having the chapter rational numbers, so there you have learned about these rational numbers, and in 9th class also you are having a small part related to rational numbers, and in this particular 10th class so we are going to discuss the complete detail about rational numbers, and by looking at the P by Q form, so how we can say that it is a terminating decimal or non-terminating repeating decimal, right? So all these things we are going to learn in this particular video. So if you are new to this channel, so please subscribe the channel and watch the video till the end. So if you like the video, please share with your friends so that they also get benefited from this video, right? Now let us see, so what are rational numbers? So what is meant by a rational number? So rational number means nothing but a number which is in the form of P by Q. So a number which is in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers. So here the value of P and the value of Q should be integers, and at the same time Q should not be equal to 0. That means the denominator should not be equal to 0. So if the denominator becomes 0, then division is not possible. So that's why this denominator should not be equal to 0. And these rational numbers are also called as quotient numbers. So that's why the letter notation Q has come, right? Now already we have learnt in the previous videos that all natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are rational numbers. So from that what we can say, natural number is subset of whole number, subset of integers is subset of rational numbers. That means natural numbers, whole numbers and integers all are subset of rational numbers. So subset means each and every number that is present in natural numbers will be present in rational numbers. The same way all the whole numbers will be present in rational numbers, all integers are present in rational numbers, right? Now let us recall so what we have learned in our previous classes, right? So first of all we have learned how to convert a fraction. So we have learned how to convert a fraction form to a decimal form, right? So fraction form means, so you will have a P by Q form, so you need to convert this into decimal form. So you will have a number, so followed by a decimal point, and you will have the decimal places, right? So to convert a fraction to decimal, so rational number means nothing but, so it will always be in the form of P by Q. So not only it will be in the form of P by Q, so it can also be represented in the form of decimal form, right? So a fraction form to decimal form, so we have learned how to convert it. So what we have done? So we have done division, right? So you know division process, right? So P by Q means, so Q is the divisor and P is the dividend. So whatever the quotient, so whatever the quotient you obtain, so that quotient is nothing but the decimal form of the given fraction, right? So this quotient, so whatever the quotient you obtain, so that quotient is nothing but my decimal form. So it is a little simple to convert a fraction form to decimal form. But when comes from decimal form to fraction form, so there are two types of decimal forms. So one is terminating decimal, and the second one is non-terminating repeating decimal, and the third one we are having non-terminating non-repeating decimal. So there are three types of decimal representations. So in this we are going to discuss only two. The first one is if you are having a terminating decimal. So what is meant by terminating decimal? So terminating decimal means nothing but, so after some decimal values, so it stops. So after some decimal places, so the remainder will become 0, and the quotient will have a terminating. That means it will have some finite number of decimal places, right? For suppose if I consider 1 by 2, So you know about 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5. For suppose you are having 0.5, so how can you convert this 0.5? So this type of numbers are nothing but called as terminating decimal. So 0.5 I can write it as. So how to convert this decimal into fraction form? Simply after the decimal point, how many decimal places are there? So 1 decimal place. So simply multiply with the 10 and divide with the 10. Then what I am going to get? So 50 by, sorry, it is not 50, it is 5 by 10. So 5 by 10 means, so 1 by 2. So always you need to write the fraction as p by q form such that p and q are co-primes. So that means there won't be any common factors. Right, the same way if you are having 0.45, then how can you write it as? So 0.45 into, so after the decimal point we are having 2 decimal places, so we need to multiply with 100 and divide with 100. Then this can be written as 45 by 100. So in 5 table, so it goes 9 times, and in 5 table it goes 20 times. So it is nothing but 9 by 20. So whenever you are having terminating decimal, simply what you can do, simply multiply with 1 followed by the number of zeros which are, so the number of zeros, so which are after the decimal point. So if you, after the decimal point we are having 2 decimal places, so that many number of, with that many number of zeros we need to multiply followed by 1, right? So then we are going to get its fraction form. The next one is non-terminating repeating decimal. Non-terminating repeating decimal. Non-terminating repeating decimal. So this we simply call it as NTR. So we can simply remember it as NTR. So non-terminating repeating decimal. So whenever you are having non-terminating repeating decimal, so for suppose if I have 0.3 bar, so 0.3 bar means, so we can write as 0.333333 and so on. Here this particular 3 is being repeated, right? Now in this we need to remember 2 terminologies, so 2 words or 2 terms, right? So those are nothing but period. So first one is period and the second one is periodicity. First one is period and the second one is periodicity. So what is meant by period? So period is nothing but what number is being repeated, so that particular number is nothing but called as period. For suppose if I am having 0.453 bar, if I am having 0.453 bar, then we say that, so this I can write as 0.453, 453, 453 and so on. Now whatever the numbers that are being repeated, so 453 are being repeated, so that block of digits, so those block of digits are nothing but called as period of the given non-terminating repeating decimal, right? Next, periodicity. So periodicity means nothing but the number of digits that are being repeated, right? So for this example, what is period? So the period is 3 and periodicity is nothing but 1. So periodicity means number of, so the number of digits that are being repeated is nothing but called as periodicity, right? So here period is 453 and periodicity is 3. So periodicity is 3 because we are having 3 digits which are being repeated, right? So these two things, these two terms you need to remember. Now so 0.3 bar is equal to 0.333. So how can you convert this particular thing into fraction form? So for that we are having a procedure which we have learned in our 8th classes and 9th classes. So consider this particular thing as x. And now what is the periodicity of this? So the periodicity is 1. So if periodicity is 1, then simply multiply with 10. So simply multiply with 10. So 10x is equal to what we will get? 3.3333 and so on, and followed by x. So x is nothing but 0.3333 and so on. After the decimal places we are having the same value, so we can directly do subtraction. Then what I am going to have? So this is nothing but 9x is equal to 3. So from this x is equal to 3 by 9, and in simplified form, so we can write as x is equal to 1 by 3. What is x here? So x already we have considered 0.3 bar, no? So 0.3 bar is nothing but 1 by 3. So we have converted non-terminating recurring decimal as fraction form, right? The same way for this example, if you want to convert this into fraction form, so what will you do? So simply, what is the periodicity? So periodicity is 3. So simply we are going to multiply with 1000. So first of all, consider this value as x. So we are multiplying with 1000x because its periodicity is 3. So we need to multiply with a 1 followed by 3 zeros. So 1000x is equal to 453.453 and so on, and followed by x. So x is nothing but 0.453 and so on. Now when I do subtraction, so what I am going to get? I am going to get 999x, that is 999. X is equal to 453. So from this, x is equal to 453 by 999. Right? So this is nothing but the fraction form of the given number. Right? Now one more thing here we need to recall is, so whenever you are having non-terminating repeating decimals, if you observe the denominators, so the denominators are containing 9s. Right? So here 9, here it is 999. So after simplification we are going to get some other value. So furthermore calculation is possible. 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 3 12. So 12 is divisible in 3 table. Then what I am going to get? So 3 ones are 3, 3 5s 15. So 151 divided by, so 3 3 3. Right? So this is the simplified answer for this example. Right? Now we are having again two types of things in non-terminating repeating decimal. Now let us see the overall view. So rational numbers and their decimal expansions. In this, so whenever you consider a rational number, so a rational number is nothing but p by q form. So this particular p by q form, when you convert it into decimal form, then we are going to have two types. The first one is terminating decimal. So terminating decimal means after some decimal places it is going to stop. Right? So terminating decimal is the first one. Next, second one is non-terminating recurring decimal, so which we are going to remember it as NTR. Okay, non-terminating recurring decimal. Again, this non-terminating recurring decimal we can classify into two types. So first one is pure recurring and the second one is mixed recurring. So pure recurring means already we have discussed some examples. So 0.3 bar, 0.453 whole bar. So these are nothing but the general examples for pure recurring. So what is meant by pure recurring? So after the decimal point, whatever the digits that are present, so after the decimal point, so whatever the digits that are present, so all those digits should repeat. So if all those digits repeats, then such a decimal is nothing but called as pure recurring decimal. Such a decimal is called as pure recurring decimal. Whereas mixed recurring means, for suppose if I am having 0.4 followed by 53 and on this 53 we are having bar. This, what is the meaning of this? So 0.453. So bar is on 53. That means, so here 53 are only being repeated. So that means this I can write as 0.4, 53, 53, 53, 53 and so on. If you observe it carefully, so after the decimal point this 4 is not being repeated. So this 4 is not being repeated. So that's why such type of recurring decimals are called as mixed recurring decimals. So these two things we need to remember, because so mostly they won't ask. So if by chance if they ask, so you need to have a clear idea about pure recurring and mixed recurring decimals. Right? So this is about rational numbers. So in rational numbers we are going to have terminating and non-terminating recurring decimals. So you need to remember in decimal form, if you are having a terminating decimal or if you are having a non-terminating recurring decimal. So non-terminating recurring decimal means indirectly you need to remember that it contains bar. It contains bar. So this we will be reading it as bar. Okay. So if it contains bar, then we call it as non-terminating recurring decimal. So in that you are having pure recurring and mixed recurring. Right. So these are all the things which we have learnt in our previous classes. Now what is there in our 10th class? So what are the things that we are going to learn in 10th class? Right. So in 10th class we are going to see that, so whenever a terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal, so terminating and non-terminating recurring decimals, so these decimals are obtained only when this particular rational number is done the division process. So whenever we do the division process, we are going to decide whether it is a terminating or non-terminating recurring decimal. Okay, so in this particular exercise we are going to see that without actually dividing the rational number, that is nothing but p by q form, so we are going to decide whether it is a terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal. So that is the only thing that we are going to learn in this particular exercise, right? So this is most important in all aspects, right? Now let us see one by one. Now do this. Write the following terminating decimals in the form of p by q. So first of all, you need to write these numbers in the form of p by q, and after that, so you should see that q is not equal to 0 and p and q are co-primes. So you need to represent these p and q in the form of co-primes. And finally, what can you conclude about the denominators through this process? So what can you say about these denominators? Okay, now let us see the first one. If you observe, all are terminating decimals. So terminating decimal means, so after the decimal point we are having finite number of decimal places, right? So first one is 15.265. the first one is 15.265. so after the decimal point, if you observe, we are having 3 decimal places. So that's why to convert it into p by q form, so first of all, what should I do? So I need to divide with 100 and multiply with 1000 and divide with 1000. Then what I am going to have? So 15265 divided by 1000. 15265 divided by 1000. Now already you have learned in your previous video about fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So according to fundamental theorem of arithmetic, this particular 15265, it is nothing but a composite number. So this composite number I can represent it as 5 into 43 into 71. So every composite number can be expressed as powers of products of prime numbers. The same thing I have done here. So 15265 can be written as 5 into 43 into 71. Next, this 1000. So this 1000 I can write it as 2 power 3 into 5 power 3. So 2 power 3 into 5 power 3. So that you can simply understand from this. So 10 I can write it as 2 into 5. So 10 I can write as 2 into 5. Next, what I am doing? I am applying cube, no? So then I can write as 2 cube into 5 cube. So that is what I have done here. Okay. Now, among this, the numerator and denominator. So he said that p and q are co-primes. So co-primes means we need to cancel this 5 and 5 cube. So 5 and 5 cube, it cancels 5 square times. So finally, what is the answer? So 43 into 71 by 2 cube into 5 square. Right. So this is first one. Next, doing the second one. So 0.1255. So 0.1255. If you want to convert it into p by q form, what I should do? After decimal point, how many place values are there? 4 place values are there. So I need to multiply with 1 followed by 4 zeros. That is nothing but 10,000. So 1 followed by 4 zeros. So after doing multiplication, what I am going to get? 1255 divided by, so 2 power 4 into 5 power 4. So I am going to write it directly, right? So which gives me, so 1255 I can write it as 5 times of 251 divided by 2 power 4 into 5 power 4. Now 5 in 5 power 4, it gets cancelled 5 cube times. So this gives me 251 by 2 power 4 into 5 cube. Next, moving on to the third one, 0.4. So after the decimal place, so after the decimal point, how many place values are there? Only 1. So directly multiplying with the 10 and dividing with the 10. So which gives me 4 by 10. So 4 by 10 I can write it as 2 by 5. So simple calculation. Next, moving on to fourth bit. So 23.34. So which I can write it as, so 23.34. So after the decimal point, we are having 2 decimal places. So we need to multiply with 100 and divide with 100. So which gives me 2334 divided by 100. Now 2334 divided by 100. So this 2334 I can write it as 2 into 3 into 389 divided by 100 can be written as 2 square into 5 square. Now this 2 into 2 square, it cancels 2 times, so finally I can write it as 3 into 389 divided by 2 into 5 square. Now moving on to the fifth one, the last one. So 1215.8. So after the decimal point we are having only one decimal place, so we are going to multiply with 10 and divide with 10. Then I am going to have 12158 divided by 10. Now this I can write it as 2 into 6079. 2 into 6079 by 2 into 5. 6079 is a prime number, so we cannot split it further. So 2 gets cancelled. Now from this what I am going to get? 6079 by 5. Now, so we have done 5 bits here. If you observe each and every p by q form, and he is asking you to see only the denominator. So what do you observe? So in the denominator of first one, you are having the factors 2 and 5. You are having two factors, that is 2 and 5. The same way, in the denominator of second one also you are having the factors 2 and 5. In the third one, you are having the factor 5. In the fourth one, you are having the factors 2 and 5. In the fifth one also, you are having the factor 5. If you observe each and every denominator, so each and every denominator contains, so every denominator is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m. So every denominator is of this form, right? So here in some particular, so in this particular thing, here in this particular case, in the third one, you can see that this n is equal to 0. This particular power n is equal to 0. That's why 2 is not appearing here. If 2 is not there, that means it is containing 2 power 0. So already we have learnt in solving the problem of LCM and HCF, right? Okay, so whenever you don't find the factor of 2, that means it is containing 2 power 0. The same way, in this also 2 power 0 is there. So from this what you can say clearly, so whenever you are having a terminating decimal, when you convert it in the form of p by q, then its denominator will be of this form. So what is the form? 2 power n into 5 power m. So these 5 examples state that, so whenever you take a terminating decimal and when you convert it into p by q form, then the denominator of the p by q form will always contain this particular form, 2 power n into 5 power m. So this particular n comma m, so this particular n comma m are non-negative integers. N comma m are non-negative integers. So already we have discussed about non-negative integers. Non-negative integers means positive integers along with 0. So positive integers along with 0 are called as non-negative integers. So based on these conclusions, so there came a theorem. So based on these particular conclusions, we brought up a theorem. So that theorem is nothing but 1.3. So this theorem states that, so whenever you consider a rational number x, which is in the form, which is in decimal form, and if it terminates, so x is a rational number whose decimal form terminates, and when you write x in the form of p by q, when you express this rational number in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-primes and the prime factorization of the q. So q means nothing but denominator, right? So whenever you convert this x, which is a terminating decimal, when you express it in the form of p by q, so the prime factorization of the denominator q will be of the form 2 power n into 5 power m. So the denominator will of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n comma m are non-negative integers, right? Okay, so from this theorem 1.3 we can state that, so whenever you consider a rational number, so which is in the form of, which is a terminating decimal, and if you express it in the form of p by q, then clearly the prime factorization of the denominator will be of this form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n comma m are non-negative integers, right? So from this we have understood that, so whenever you are having terminating decimal, the denominator of p by q form will always be of this form 2 power n into 5 power m, right? So directly we can state this. Next, moving on to some more examples. Now for suppose if we consider a rational number in the form of p by q. For suppose we are considering a rational number which is in the form of p by q, where q is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. So the same conditions we are following. Then write the numbers in their decimal form. So we need to write these numbers in the form of decimals, right? So first of all, what is given? 3 by 4. What is given? 3 by 4. Now this 3 by 4 is nothing but 3 by 2 square. So be careful. So already he said that the given rationals are of the form 2 power n into 5 power m. But here we don't have 5 power m, right? So whenever you don't have 5 power m, just what you should do is, so whenever you want to convert it into decimal form, if there is no 5 power form, that means it contains 5 power 0 only. Now what is my ultimate goal? So the ultimate thing that I need to do here is I need to convert these into decimal forms, right? So whenever you want to convert it into decimal form, simply what you should do is, so what is the factor that you have in the denominator? So we are having 2 square. So if you multiply with 5 square, then this becomes 10 square. So division with the 10 is very easy, right? So that's why what I am going to do is, so since I am having 2 square, I am going to multiply 5 square in the denominator. So when you multiply with 5 square in the denominator, in the numerator also you need to multiply with 5 square. Then this becomes, so 3 into 5 square is 25 divided by, so 2 square into 5 square is 10 square. So which gives me 325s. So 25 3s are 75 divided by 100. 75 divided by 100. So 75 divided by 100, I can write it as 0.75. I can write it as 0.75. So without actually dividing, what I have done, so we have directly found out the decimal expansion of this particular 3 by 4. The same way, moving on to question number 2. So 7 by 25. So 7 by 25 I can write as 7 by 25 means 5 square. Here we are having 5 square. So to make it 10 square, what I can do, I can directly multiply with the 2 square. So this gives me 7 into 4 by 10 square. So which is nothing but 28 by 100. So which gives me 0.28. 0.28. Next, the same way, third one. So 51 by 64. 51 by 64. Now this 51 by 64 means 2 power 6. 64 means 2 power 6. So to make it a 10 power form, so I need to multiply with the 5 power 6. So when I multiply with 5 power 6 in the denominator, in the numerator also I need to multiply with 5 power 6. So which gives me, so what is the denominator? So denominator can be written as 10 power 6. So when I do multiplication in the numerator, so then I am going to get 796875. So this is the number what I am going to get when I multiply 51 with 5 power 6. Now when I do it, so what I am going to get, 0.796875. Right, so this is nothing but the answer. So what I am going to get. Right, next moving on to question number 4. So what is given? 14 by 25. So 14 by 25 I can write it as 14 by 25 is nothing but 2 power, sorry, not 2 power, it is 5 power 2. So 5 power 2, if I want to make it 10 power, then I need to multiply with the 2 power 2. So when I multiply with 2 square in the denominator, I need to multiply in the numerator also. So 14 4s are, sorry, so 14 4s are, so this gives me 56 by 10 square. So which I can write it as 0.56. The same way, the fifth one, 80 by 100. So here 0 0 I can cancel it out. Next, this 8 by 10 I can write it as 2 into 5. Again these 2 can be cancelled 4 times, right? So instead of doing like this, so simply what we can do, so this is 80 by 100, right? So since we are having 100 in the denominator, I can write it as 0.80. So 0.80 means simply 0.8. Okay, so 80 by 100 can be written as 0.80, so which is nothing but 0.8. So this is the way how we can convert a fraction form into decimal form when you are having the denominator in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m. Okay, so the only thing that you need to do is here in the denominator, so whatever the thing that is missing, so here I am having 2 square, so to make it 10 power I am multiplying with 5 square and dividing with 5 square. The same way here also you can clearly observe the things what I have done here, right? So whenever you are having 2 power n into 5 power m form, then you can convert the given fraction into decimal form easily, right? So from this, one more thing that we can observe, so one more thing you can observe here is, see here I am having 2 square into 5 square. That means what is the power of 2 and 5? So the power of 2 and 5 is 2. That means after the decimal point we are having 2 decimal places. That means after 2 decimal places it is terminating. The same way here also the power is 2. That's why it is terminated after 2 decimals. Here the power is 6. So that's why it is terminated after 6 decimals. Here the power is 2. Hence it is terminated after 2 decimals. Here also 100 means power 2 only, no? So that's why it is terminated after 2 decimals, right? So these are all the things that we can understand from these examples. Now from these examples we can simply say a theorem, that is, so whenever you are having a rational number x in the form of p by q, so here we are considering a rational number in the form of p by q such that the prime factorization of the q is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m. 2 power n into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers, then we can say that x is a terminating decimal. So then we can say that x is a terminating decimal, and we can also say that after how many decimal places it is going to terminate, right? So that depends on, so for suppose if I am having 2 power 3 into 5 power 2, 2 power 3 into 5 power 2, that means among these two values, so which is having more value? So 3 among 3 and 2, so 3 is having more value. If it contains in the denominator, then we can say that the given decimal will terminate after 3 decimal places. So the terminating places will be decided by the highest power of the 2 power or 5 power. Okay, so here 2 power 3 is there, so that's why it is terminated after 3 decimal places. So for suppose if I am having 5 power 4, then it will terminate after 4 places. So this among these 2 power and 5 power, so which is having the highest power, that will decide after how many decimal places it should terminate. Okay, now from this what have you understood? So whenever you are having 2 power, that means prime factor of 2 and prime factor of 5. So prime factor of 2 or prime factor of 5 or both prime factor of 2 and 5, if they are present in the denominator of a p by q form, then we can say that it is a terminating decimal, right? So this is that particular theorem. So it is nothing but the converse of theorem number 1.3. It is converse of theorem 1.3. Next, moving on with some more problems. So here we are going to take up the examples, and after doing examples we are concluding. So we are coming to one conclusion, right? So the first one, what is this? 1 by 3. So you know about 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 I can write as 0.3333 and so on. So which I can write it as 0.3 bar, right? Next, moving on to 2 by 7. So what is the value of 2 by 7? So 2 by 7, how can you write it as? So 2 by 7 if you do, so when I do division 7, So here the divisor is 7 and dividend is 2. So 2 can't be cancelled. So we are going to take 0 point. Then this becomes 0. So 7 2s are 14, because 7 3s are 21. It is crossing. So 6. Right. So 6 means, so you can consider 0 because we are having a decimal. So 7 8s are 56. Again we are going to have 4. So 40. So 7 5s 35. Again, so 5 times. So 50. 7 7s are 49. Again 10 means 1 time 7. So 1 time is 7 and followed by 3. So 3 means 30. So 7 4s are 28. So again we are having 2. So 2 means 20. So 20 means again it is starting only again. So that means after this what we are going to have, again we are going to have 2 8 5 7 1 4. Again 2 8 5 7 1 4, because the same 20 will be repeating, right? Now this 2 by 7 I can write it as 0.285714 and 285714. That means this 285714 will be my repeating block of digits. So these are my repeating block of digits. So likewise we can simplify this. Okay, so I am going to erase this. Right, so likewise we can do the division, and whatever the quotient that you obtain, so that quotient will be my decimal expansion. The same way, if I go with the third one, so what is third one? So 5 by 11. So 11 is the divisor and 5 is the dividend. So since we cannot divide, so we are going to consider 0 point. So 11 4s are 44. Next I am going to have 6. So this becomes 60. So 5 times 55. Again 5. So again it becomes 50. So again the same process will repeat. That means again you are going to have 4 5 4 5 4 5 and so on. So 5 by 11 I can write it as 0.45. So 45 bar. Right. Now next fourth one, if you see, so 10 by 13. 10 by 13. So with the 13 table, so we need to divide. So we are going to get some particular things, right? If you observe each and every denominator, so in the first denominator, so what do we have? We are having 3. In the second denominator, in the second question denominator, what do we have? 11 in the denominator. In the third example, we are having 11 in the denominator. In the fourth example, we are having 13 in the denominator, right? So this fourth one, you try it. Okay, so if you observe what is asking, so convert these into decimal forms and find out the block of repeating digits in the quotient. Right, here 3 is the repeating digit. Next here 285714 are the repeating digits. Here 45 is the repeating digits. The same way 10 by 13. So we are going to get, so fourth one also we can do it like this. So 10 by 13. So this gives me 0.769320. So these digits will be repeating, right? So this will be your answer. So you can give it a try. Okay, if you observe the denominators, so if you observe the denominators, so whenever you are having the denominators of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, then you got that it is a terminating decimal or a decimal which terminates. But whenever you are having other than 2 and 5, so other than 2 and 5 if you are having in the denominators, then we are having repeating digits. Then we are having repeating digits. That means non-terminating repeating digits. So from this what we can say, so what can we conclude? If other than 2 and 5, if you are having prime factors other than 2 and 5 in the denominator, then it will be a non-terminating recurring decimal, right? So from that we can say that non-terminating recurring decimal in rational number is nothing but a number which is in the form of p by q, such that the prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal which is non-terminating repeating, right? So other than 2 power n into 5 power m, if you are having some other prime factor, if you are having any additional prime factor with these two or without these two in the denominator, then we can simply say that it is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Okay, so it is crystal clear that so whenever you are having in the denominator 2 power n into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers, then simply we say that it is a terminating decimal. If you are having only this, then it is a terminating decimal. If along with this, if you are having some other prime factor other than 2 and 5, if you are having some other prime factor, then we say that it is non-terminating repeating decimal. Non-terminating repeating decimal, right? So only these two things will be there in this particular exercise. Now let us see some more examples. So using the above theorems, so already we have learned 3 theorems here, right? The first theorem is, so whenever you are having a rational number, if it terminates, then the denominator will be of the form 2 power n into 5 power m. If the denominator is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, then clearly it terminates. So both are converse to each other. Next, the third one is, if the denominator is not in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, then it is a non-terminating repeating decimal, right? So without actually dividing, state whether the following rational numbers are terminating or non-terminating repeating decimals. Okay, so first one, if you observe 16 by 125. Now what is 125? So numerator directly it is 2 power 4. Denominator I can write as 5 cube. So 125 is nothing but 5 cube. So 5 cube means, so denominator is containing, so it is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m only, no? It is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n is equal to 0 and m is equal to 3. So identify, just identify this. So here n is equal to 0 because 2 power is not present, so that's why it is 2 power 0. So here n is equal to 0 and m is equal to 3, hence it is a terminating decimal. Hence it is a terminating decimal. Next, second one, 25 by 32. So whenever you are having a fraction, only just look at the denominator, so no need of looking at the numerator. So if you are having any cancelling factors, so first of all cancel them and after that look at the denominator. So here 25, 32, so one is odd and one is even, and you don't have any common factors. So clearly this 32 I can write it as 2 power 5. So 2 power 5 into 5 power 0. So clearly here n is equal to 5 and m is equal to 0. Hence it is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m. Hence it is a terminating decimal. Understood? Next, third one. So 100 by 81. So here 181 there. So there are no common factors. Then directly going with the denominator. So what is denominator here? 81. So 81 I can write it as 3 power 4. 3 power 4. So 3 power 4 means, so it is not having, so it is having 2 power 0 into 5 power 0. So there are no common so no factors for factors of 2 and 5. So other than 2 and 5 factors, we are having one more prime factor 3. So here m is equal to 0, n is equal to 0. Otherwise what we can simply say is, so other than 2 and 5 factors, so we are having one more factor, one more prime factor, so that's why it is non-terminating repeating decimal. It is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Simply we can say like that, right? Next, fourth one. So 41 by 75. So already we know that 41 is a prime number, so it cannot cancel with 75. So directly going with the denominator. So simply looking at the denominator, we are going to say the answer. So 75. So 75 I can write it as 3 into 5 square. 3 into 5 square. If you observe this, so here we are having 2 power 0 also. Now other than 2 and 5, we are having one extra prime factor. Other than 2 and 5, we are having one more extra prime factor. So that's why this is non-terminating repeating decimal. So you need to understand simply that in the denominator, if you are having other than 2 and 5 prime factors, other than 2 and 5 prime factors, then it is a non-terminating repeating decimal. If you are having only 2 power n or 5 power m or 2 power n into 5 power m form, then we can say that it is a terminating decimal. Okay, so from this you have understood without doing actual division process. Next, one more example. Write the decimal expansion of the following rational numbers without actual division. So without doing division, so you need to write the answer. So 35 by 50. So 35 I can write as 5 sevens, followed by 50 I can write it as 5 into tens. Now 5 I can cancel it out. This is nothing but 7 by 10. So 7 by 10 means 0.7. Okay, so we have converted it. Next, second one, 21 by 25. So 21 by 25. So if you want to make it 100, so simply multiply with 4 and divide with 4. Or what we can see here, 25 means 5 square, no? So when you are having 5 square, you can multiply with the 2 square. So that is what I have done here. 21 fours are 84 divided by 100. So 84 by 100 means 0.84. Okay, next moving on to the third one. So what is third one? 7 by 8. So 7 by 8 I can write as 7 by 2 power 3. 7 by 2 power 3. So since we are having 2 power 3, so we need to multiply with 5 power 3 to make it so 10 power 3 form. Then this becomes 10 power 3. So 7 into 5 cube. So what is the value of 7 into 5 cube? So 125 7s. So 7 5s are 35. 3 will be carried. So 7 2s 14. So 14 plus 3 17. So 1 will be carried. 7 1s are 7 plus 1 8. So this I can write as 875 by 1000. So this I can write as 0.875. Because since it contains 10 cube, so that means after the decimal point we should have 3 decimal places, right? So this is about the concept related to rational numbers and how without doing actual division process we are going to identify whether it is a terminating decimal or non-terminating repeating decimal, and how to convert the fraction form, that is p by q form, into decimal form, right? So thank you for watching the video. So in the next video we are going to have the exercise problems of this particular chapter. So thank you for watching. Stay connected with the channel.